What's good, y'all? It's that boy, Easy Millions, and I'm your host of that boy, ETV. You already know, man. We are back on Marvel Rivals, and here we are with another character breakdown. And as you can see in the background, it's for that boy, Captain America, baby. So let's get right into this. And again, we're talking about Captain America. He is a Vanguard tank with a base health of 675 and a movement speed of 6 meters a second, man. Now, Captain America is a Vanguard hero capable of taking a lot of damage while charging in through enemy ranks and helping your team get to the initiative in any fight. He is a powerful initiator capable of disrupting enemy formations and allowing your team to pick off easy targets. His various charges allow him to easily make his way into the enemy lines, while his CC abilities help him launch enemies up in the air. Furthermore, the captain is also able to buff allies and heal them with his ultimate, making it a truly powerful tool to have at your disposal when team fights roll around. Overall, Captain America is not a difficult champion to play, but he requires good positioning, awareness, and knowing when to engage to get the most out of his skills, man. Now, in my opinion here, Captain America is definitely an aggro dive tank. He's definitely meant to go ahead, run up in there, jump into the back lines, attack the healers, and get on out. He is able to do this. His kit is basically based around this simple play style of run into the crowd, cause a little bit of damage, run on out. I think he's very, very fun to play as of right now. I'm not going to lie, when I first picked him up to do this video for him, I thought that I would dread having to play him. But after playing him, I'm not going to lie, he's really, really fun, and I really do enjoy playing him. Now, let's go ahead and get into these abilities, man. And the first one we're going to talk about is going to be his normal attack. And with this, it's going to be called Sentinel Strike. With this, you get up close to strike enemies. Landing the second hit enables a shield throw that can ricochet 4 times, man. This is a change form casting. The melee range is going to be 4 meters. The shield flying speed is going to be 60 meters a second. The max flying distance is 25 meters. The damage for the melee attack damage is going to be 40, and the flying shield damage will be 45. The attack intervals: the melee first hit is 0.4 seconds. The second hit is 0.5 seconds. For the flying shield, the first hit is 0.5 seconds. The second hit is 0.57 seconds, man. Also, for the ammo, you get up to 4 throws. There's no critical hit on this, and it automatically targets enemies near the crosshair, man. So the first thing I want to do is, he has one of the most unique attacks in the game, as he has both a melee and a projectile. So the first thing I want you to notice is when you do your first melee attack, you will see a bar pop up underneath your crosshair. This is allowing you to know how many melee attacks you have hit. And as you can see, you have 2 bars here. Now, once you hit both bars, you will then get a new set of bars, which will have 4 sections and a 5-second timer. This right here is letting you know that you have the shield throw initiated. Once you have this bar here, you do have 5 seconds to throw all 4 of your shield throws. And like it said, wherever your crosshair is aimed towards, the shield will hit the nearest enemy towards the crosshair. So remember, you got to go ahead and charge up the 2 hits and then pay attention to the bar, and just make sure that you use the 5 seconds wisely, as you might not have someone to initially straight up throw it to, so you don't want to just go ahead and hold down the trigger when you're playing Captain America. Now, with Captain America's normal attack here, I think it's really, really good, and it really does fit his playstyle. It does fit the playstyle of run in, get your 2 melee hits, and then you can somewhat back off as you throw in your shield. So with this right here, as you come in, you jump into the back line, you get your first 2 melee hits off on a healer, and then you throw these shields at him. Throw your shield at him. Now, I will tell you this: if you get a full 2 hits and full 4 shield throws onto, I believe, a 275 health character, they will be 1 shot. You won't actually be able to kill them, but they will be 1 shot left on their health pool when that happens, man. So just so you know, if you get a full combo off on 275 to 250, you won't fully kill them, but they will basically be dead. So again, make sure you're charging up the 2 melees, and then making sure you're taking advantage of the 4 shield throws over the duration of that 5 seconds, man. Now, let's get into his first ability here, which is actually going to be the main ability that you're going to be using, and this is going to be called Leading Dash. And with this, you boost speed and enable Fearless Leap to leap into the air. This is a channeled casting. It gives you a movement boost of 33.4%, and the Fearless Leap height is going to be 5 meters. Now, as you can see, when you pop this here, you will go into your sprint. Now, this sprint is unlimited, and as long as you are alive, you will be able to use this. It does not go on any type of cooldown. Now, me personally, I think that this should just be a passive where he automatically runs like this after, holding forward for a period of time. But if they want to go ahead and make this an ability, then fine. But this ability here is going to basically be the ability that sets up all the rest of them, as you need to be running in order to get that Fearless Leap off. The Fearless Leap is what allows you to use some of your other moves, and it does allow you to get to higher places like second floors, helps you get up to bridges in some cases, and the movement speed overall is great as it keeps him moving and makes him even harder target to hit, man. Now we got to get into the next ability here, which is going to be the Super Soldier Slam. And with this, you slam down from the sky onto the target area, launching up enemies. This is a targeted cast. The maximum distance will be 20 meters horizontally. The damage is 30, and the cooldown is 12 seconds, man. Now, as you can see, when you're doing your leading dash and then you jump up to the Fearless Leap, you will see a symbol on the ground, and when you hit that, you will do your Super Soldier Slam into the ground. When you slam into the ground, you will cause a shockwave effect that will pop enemies up into the air. Now, with this right here, this is going to be your main ability in which you are going to enter fights. Most of the time, you're going to be sprinting up towards the fight. You will jump up, aim this towards whoever you're trying to initially attack, and then you will slam down on them. Now, this move here is very, very similar to Venom's Splash out of the air, but I will say this. I feel Venom's Splash is a little bit better, as the visual effects kind of better show you who's all being hit. As with Captain America's, when you slam down, you just kind of get like the crosshair symbol that someone's been hit, but there isn't much visual effects when it comes to that, so I think it's a little bit better with visual effects. And then even with the pop-up in the air, it's still a little bit hard to hit some of his moves afterwards, as when they pop up in the air, they kind of pop up above your head, and they don't pop up and in front of and like go back. They kind of just pop straight up. So once you land, they'll just kind of go straight up in the air, and you have to like look up to aim your abilities, so you might end up missing your follow-ups. So with this right here, I wish they would kind of like jump. When you hit the ground, the person should pop up and backwards. This way they're kind of still in your sight line, similar to what Venom's does. Like Venom's pops you up and back. I feel like Captain America's just kind of pop you straight up. But with this here, like again, this is going to be your main entry tool into fights, as you're going to be running around a lot, and this is going to be your best way to go ahead and get in there. Now, speaking of this, the next ability we're going to talk about is going to be called Liberty Rush. And with this, you raise the shield and charge forward. This is a single cast forward dash. The dash distance will be 12 meters. The damage is 30, and the cooldown is 10 seconds, man. Now, as you can see here, again, what I mean by all these abilities so far are going to work in tandem. But as you can see with this ability here, you will raise your shield up and you will dash forward, inflicting damage on any opponent in your way. Now, with this here, you're most likely going to use this in conjunction with all the previous abilities that we've listed, as you will use his you will use his sprint to start sprinting, his Fearless Leap to jump up. You will then Super Soldier Slam down into somebody. And then once you do this, you will most likely have to use your Liberty Rush to then close the distance between you and the person you just popped up in order to get that initial distance closed and to allow yourself to hit a melee attack. This way you are close enough to do so. This move right here is also good for finishing off weak enemies, and this move here is also used to as an escape tool. So if you're trying to get out of dodge, you could jump up in the air and use this dash, as it is pretty 12 meters is pretty good distance, and it moves you pretty fast. This dash here can also be used to help you save yourself from Jeff, as if Jeff were to swallow you and shoot you off the edge, as long as you're aiming back towards the map, you should be able to dash back. Now, as long as you haven't been spit out too far, you should be able to make this. So you should be good. So again, this is a good entry tool as far as, again, after you jump in, you want to use this dash to get to one of the enemies quickly, or you want to use this dash as a get out of jail free card, or a way to prevent yourself from being thrown off the map. Now, the next move here we're going to talk about is going to be the Vibranium Energy Saw. And with this, you hurl the energy charge shield to strike enemies in a path. This is a single cast projectile that can ricochet. The projectile speed will be 60 meters a second. The maximum distance is 25 meters. The number of ricochets will be 3. The damage starts at 70 with a 20% reduction for each ricochet. And the cooldown will be 8 seconds, man. And as you can see, when you pop this ability here, you will throw your shield forward and it will ricochet off enemies and walls. Now, this ability here is very straightforward, and you primarily want to use this as a finish tool as well. More often than not over your dash, as your dash will be your initiator, and then once you get them weak, because earlier I told you if you hit the full combo, both melees and all 4 shield throws on a 250 to 275 hero, they will be one shot. So essentially what you want to do is you want to start your sprint, fearless leap in, so super soldier slam your way down, dash into the opponent, initiate your 2 melees, and then if you aren't able to kill them with the 4 shield throws at the end due to, I don't know, ricocheting or them moving around, you will then want to go ahead and use this energy saw to throw your shield that last time to go ahead and finish off them kills, man. Now, this is a pretty good projectile in my opinion. The 8-second cooldown is a little bit excessive. Maybe put it on like 6 or 7. This way he has it a little bit more often because, again, I feel like Captain America should have the ability to throw his shield more often, but I get why they don't, as his melee attack does give him 4 automatic shield throws. So I do get why he does not have that, but you got to make sure that you're hitting your melees in order to get those shield throws. So for this one here, again, you primarily want to use it to hit far off targets or to finish off any enemy that's trying to run away from you currently at the time. Now, the next ability we need to talk about is going to be called Living Legend. And with this, you raise the shield to deflect incoming projectiles, sending them ricocheting in random directions. This is a channeled casting. The maximum shield value is going to be 400. The recovery shield value is going to be 50 a second. The delayed recovery after release is 2 seconds. The cooldown after destroyed will be 5 seconds. The normal cooldown is 1 second. And the ricochet damage fall off is 50%, man. Now, as you can see, when you pop this ability here, you will throw up Captain America's shield. And above you, you will see a bar that will read 400, as this is the amount of damage the shield will take before it breaks. Now, this shield here is used very well, as it is used. Once you dive into the back line, you will use this shield as a way usually to get out of the back line as you're protecting yourself, as you're backing up. Or you can use this shield as a way to also enter into the fight, as you are able to sprint while holding your shield up. So holding your shield up does not destroy any of your movement abilities. You are still able to do all your movements while the shield is still available. Now, I want to let you know, once you jump into the air, you cannot initiate the shield after you've jumped into the air. You must land first. Now, if you have the shield up, you are able to jump with it while it's already initiated. But if you jump before you put the shield up, you cannot do that. Also, I want you guys to be careful, as if you're trying to hurry up and tap the ability to hurry up and initiate your shield, you want to be careful not to tap it too many times, as once you tap it, even if it takes no damage, once you put the shield down, you will have to wait a full second to put it back up, and that in some cases will get you killed. So I want you to make sure that you are being aware of when you are trying to put your shield up and making sure that you are only hitting the button once, as you do not want to accidentally hit it twice. Put up your shield, put it back down again, and then be on the 1 second cooldown, because that 1 second will most likely end your life. But this here ability can block a lot of projectiles. That includes Scarlet Witch's ult can be blocked. It can block Maximum Pulse from Iron Man, and it can block the projectiles from people like Hela. So you can pretty much block any projectile that comes your way with this ability, man. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about here is going to be his ultimate, which is going to be called Freedom Charge. And with this, the shield held high, you carve a path forward, granting both himself and allies along the path continuous bonus health and movement boosts. Using Living Legend or Leading Dash while this ability is active can launch up enemies, man. This is an activation cast. It has a spherical spell field with a 4-meter radius enveloping the caster, in the spell area with a width of 4 meters along the path. The spell field duration will be 10 seconds. The spell area duration is 5 seconds. The health recovery rate, the cast to gain 150 bonus health, and you grant allies 100 bonus health. Every second afterward, you gain 100 bonus health and grant allies 60 bonus health, man. Now, for movement boosts, you grant a 30% movement boost to both yourself and your allies. And the energy cost will be 3,100, man. Now, as you see, when you pop this, you will go ahead and yell out that assemble. And you will see a star-spangled banner-like effect following behind you everywhere you go. This is how you know that the effect is currently active. Now, once this is active, you will see yourself gain a small health boost. And over the duration of the ult, you will see your health boost increase. This also applies to your allies, as they will also gain the health boost, and they will also gain additional health as the time keeps going. Now, you will get a movement boost, allowing you to move a lot faster. So your sprint now will be like Road Runner out there, and you'll be moving with the quickness. Now, the best thing about this is the fact that it does actually allow you to attack much quicker, and it allows you to have the bonus health to become more of a tank. Now, this is the only way for Captain America to give himself bonus health, is with his ult. So you want to make sure when you're using this that you're primarily using this when you're in the middle of a very, very tough team fight. You know those fights when you guys are both in one area fighting over a point or the convoy, and your fight is taking a while? This would be the perfect time to pop this assemble and give both your allies, yourself, the health boost and the movement boost to allow them to go ahead and get that fight taken care of. This ult here is very underutilized, and sometimes I don't think a lot of people really know what's going on, but that's essentially what's happening. You want to use this and then become slightly even more aggressive, as you do have that movement spook to help you really close the distance a lot, and you are gaining health as you're moving around, so you become even more of a tank, man. This ultimate right here isn't the best, but it does serve its purpose, especially when you are in very, very tough team fights. Now, the last thing we need to talk about is going to be his team up, and that'll be Charge Aegis. And with this, Thor infuses Thor Force into Storm and Captain America, granting them electrifying enhancement. When electrifying enhancement, Captain America gains a movement boost, and his shield is imbued with thunder power, electrocuting nearby enemies. This is an ability enhancement. The attack interval for the flying shield first hit is 0.5 seconds. The flying shield second hit is 0.57 seconds, and the shield flying speed is 100 meters a second, man. And the max flying distance will be 25 meters. The damage will be 50. The movement boost is a movement speed plus 1 meter a second. The duration is 6 seconds. The cooldown is 20 seconds. And the special effect, flying shield can ricochet once, reducing the damage by 50%, man. Now, basically, this team up here is with Thor. It's probably one of the weaker ones in the game, as it does cause you to have a certain type of tank combination, but ultimately it does give you a little bit of extra damage on your abilities and your attacks when you have this. So you might as well just go ahead and pop it and use it as much as possible, especially while you're in a fight. You only have it for a certain period of time, which is very short, as it's only 6 seconds long. So you want to make sure you're popping it pretty much right as you're entering a battle, or when you're in the midst of a battle, to go ahead and give you that advantage and go ahead and knock that out before you run out of it, man. But ultimately, this team up is okay. I didn't really get to test it out too much, as I didn't really have a Thor on my team to really test this. But again, I don't really see it that often, and since I just don't think it'd be that strong of a team up, because it doesn't do that much, but it's all right at the end of the day. All team ups are pretty good in their own right. You just have to fully take advantage of it. But Captain America is one of those aggro tanks that you're going to find yourself getting dove by, or you're going to find yourself playing him mostly by getting into the back lines, causing damage, and causing all kinds of problems for the enemy team. You want to make sure that when you're playing, you stay on the move, and you're rallying your teammates so that when that time to assemble happens, you're giving them both the health and movement boost, man. But this has been another one of them character breakdowns, and I hope y'all enjoyed that, man. But as always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, become a supporter, and catch me streaming on Facebook Gaming and Twitch at that boy TV. Now, catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.